No, I'm not worried about staying out of trouble, he told TMZ, because I mean, like, if you know 6ix9ine, you know now I'm squeaky clean.
In the wild world of rap and drama, few names stir up as much buzz as Daniel Hernandez, aka Tekashi 6ix9ine. With his neon rainbow hair, face tattoos, and fiery attitude, Tekashi shot up the fame ladder like a rocket, and just as fast, he found himself in a storm of scandal. From chart-smashing hits like Gummo and Fefe to headline-grabbing beefs with fellow artists and his notorious gang ties, Tekashi's life has been a non-stop roller coaster of fame, cash, and chaos. He became the poster child for controversy, always in the spotlight for the wildest reasons. Whether it was trolling on social media, feuding with rappers, or even getting involved in a major legal mess, Tekashi was always making waves. But now, after a series of courtroom showdowns and legal twists that saw him flip on his former associates, Tekashi's behind bars. Fans and critics alike are left wondering if this could be the final act in his explosive career. Will he make a comeback when he's free? Or has the saga of 6ix9ine reached its fiery, unpredictable end? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Tekashi's story has been anything but boring. Tekashi 6ix9ine's legal troubles. In yet another jaw-dropping twist, rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine is back in the hot seat with the law, reigniting all the drama of his wild ride through the justice system. Tuesday's arrest has him facing accusations of violating his supervised release, and the buzz is back. Fans and skeptics alike are tuning in to see if this will be another epic chapter in Tekashi's saga of run-ins and close calls. If you're not up to speed, Tekashi's legal story is anything but ordinary. It could seriously make a high-stakes thriller. His most infamous moment? Back in 2019, he faced a massive legal showdown with heavy charges that landed him behind bars. Known for his bold personality, controversial beats, and wild connections, Tekashi's story took a wild turn when he got tangled up in federal cases involving gangs, violence, and racketeering. This Brooklyn-born rapper shot to fame with an in-your-face style, rainbow hair, and millions of followers who couldn't get enough of his unapologetic image. But all that fame couldn't save him from the storm of legal trouble waiting around the corner. Affiliation with 9 Trey Gangsta Blood, 6ix9ine street cred was on full display when he linked up with the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, a gang infamous for drug deals and a rap sheet of serious crimes. What started as a move to boost his reputation in the rap game quickly spiraled into disaster. By late 2018, he found himself locked up on a hefty list of charges, including racketeering, packing heat, and plotting murder, all tied to 9 Trey's crime spree. The feds claimed he wasn't just in the know, he was hands-on, from shootouts to drug deals. Facing a mountain of evidence, texts, witness accounts, even his own social media boasts, his rap career screeched to a halt, and he was staring down a life sentence. He offered an emotional apology to a woman who spoke about being shot during one of his crimes. "I know I was wrong. I was weak. I was easily influenced. I can't believe that was me. Again, Your Honor, there is no apology good enough." But here's the plot twist. Tekashi flipped the script, cutting a deal with prosecutors and spilling tea on his gang ties, complete with insider dirt. His cooperation lightened his sentence, but branded him a snitch, a title that didn't sit well with his former gang or the hip-hop community. He copped to racketeering, gun charges, and drug trafficking. But the trade-off was massive. Tekashi's decision shocked everyone, blurring the lines between street loyalty and survival. As a full-fledged gang member, Tekashi 6ix9ine wasn't just tagging along. He was in the thick of things. He even confessed to some wild crimes, like putting a $20,000 bounty on rival rapper Chief Keef. At first, he was staring down a prison sentence that could have stretched for decades. But in a plot twist straight out of a crime drama, he ended up with just 2 years in prison, 5 years of supervised release, and 300 hours of community service. How? Well, he played ball with the feds, striking a deal that dramatically cut down his time behind bars and flipped his future on its head. The judge attributed to the rapper's cooperation with government prosecutors. "Your cooperation was impressive, it was game-changing, it was complete, and it was brave. It has brought out the best in you, and you should be proud of yourself for it." Then, as if things couldn't get any more dramatic, April 2020 rolled around with COVID-19 in full swing. Given his asthma and the virus risk, Tekashi snagged an early release. Just like that, he was back on the outside, picking up his life and career a whole lot sooner than anyone expected. Tekashi 6ix9ine, Early altercations with the law. Tekashi 6ix9ine's run-ins with the law didn't start with his rap career. They go way back to his younger years. Even before he was a household name, he was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. His first arrest? Well, we're not exactly sure when it happened, but in a 2017 interview on the No Jumper podcast, he was pretty open about it. He spilled the tea on his past, recalling the time he got busted for dealing heroin right in a store. That little operation blew up into a fight with the store owner, landing him with charges for drug sales and mistreatment. Then, in March 2015, things got even more serious when Tekashi found himself in hot water over a child intercourse act incident. By October, he pleaded guilty to involving a minor in an inappropriate act. His punishment? Probation, with a requirement to earn his GED, a wake-up call, but not enough to slow down his wild journey. An assistant district attorney claimed that he violated the terms by getting arrested on further charges and using social media to promote a culture of violence and glorify gang activity. These crimes seriously compromise his prospects for rehabilitation. By January 2018, Tekashi 6ix9ine hit another legal roadblock when he failed his GED test. The judge decided to toughen things up, handing him 4 years of probation and 1,000 hours of community service. But if you thought that was the end of his legal drama, think again. In May 2015, he got pulled over in New York for driving with a suspended license. Things escalated when he allegedly injured an officer during the arrest, racking up an extra mistreatment charge. In July 2015, Tekashi found himself back in the hot seat, this time for an outstanding warrant from Houston after allegedly putting a 16-year-old in a chokehold at a mall, resulting in a misdemeanor mistreatment charge. While his rap career was on the rise, his personal life was becoming equally headline-worthy. During his infamous 9 Trey gang trial on September 10, 2019, Tekashi didn't just spill the tea, he poured the whole kettle, admitting to years of domestic violence as part of a deal with the feds. His confession covered a laundry list of crimes, including a series of domestic violence incidents with his ex-girlfriend and the mother of his child, Sarah Molina. She even came forward with a harrowing account of alleged mistreatment that stretched over 7 years, aligning with Tekashi's own admissions. In one case, he said, "I helped members of 9 Trey attempt to kill a rival gang member. I did this to maintain or increase my own standing in 9 Trey." Mr. Hernandez said he apologized to the judge and to anyone who was hurt, to my family, friends, and fans for what I have done and who I have let down. But Tekashi's legal woes weren't limited to his personal life. They extended right into his business dealings. In July 2021, a Japanese tattoo artist from Brooklyn sued him, claiming that Tekashi made defamatory statements and misused his name and likeness. Fast forward to August 2023, and this tattoo artist, whose name is suspiciously close to Tekashi, sought a default judgment after Tekashi's attorney dipped out of the case, leaving the rapper knee-deep in more legal troubles. Then, on October 15, 2023, things took another turn when he got arrested in the Dominican Republic, accused of roughing up 2 music producers. This was yet another chapter in his roller coaster of controversies. Just a few months later, on January 17, 2024, he was arrested again by Dominican authorities on domestic violence charges. Following his arrest, Tekashi was held in Santo Domingo, awaiting a January 18th hearing to see if he'd be released on bond. So, on January 25, 2024, Tekashi 6ix9ine found himself out of custody, but with some serious strings attached. He had to attend government counseling sessions and check in with the authorities every 2 months while they wrapped up their investigation. Oh, and he had to fork over a $510 deposit, adding yet another twist to his already roller coaster of a legal journey. Fast forward, though, and he's back in federal custody, sparking questions about whether he actually stuck to the rules of his release. Just this Tuesday, he faced off with Judge Paul A. Engelmeyer, the same judge who sentenced him before, who ruled that Tekashi needed at least a 2-week timeout in jail. Authorities say he didn't exactly follow the terms of his release, putting his freedom back on the line and throwing a spotlight on the real risks of not playing by the rules with supervised releases. One of the big strikes against Tekashi 6ix9ine? An unsanctioned September trip to Las Vegas. Yep, he apparently skipped out of town without getting the all-important thumbs up he needed for any travel beyond his usual haunts. A must. in his release terms. This unauthorized jaunt has officials questioning if he's really committed to staying within the lines. And that's just the beginning. Besides the unapproved travel, Tekashi also skipped out on multiple mandatory drug tests, which are supposed to keep him on the straight and narrow. To top it off, when he did take a test, he reportedly came back positive for methamphetamine. Definitely not what the court wanted to see. This little mix-up has cast even more doubt on his ability to follow his supervised release rules. Tekashi 6ix9ine's been skating on thin ice, and his latest antics aren't exactly helping. First up, dabbling in drugs, especially meth, breaks the no-no list from his release terms and tosses his health into risky territory. Add that to the fact he showed up late to his last court date, missing the entire morning session, which didn't exactly scream, "I'm committed to the rules." The justice system takes a pretty dim view of tardiness, seeing it as a red flag for someone's dedication to their obligations. So, no big surprise here. His "I slept in" excuse didn't do much to impress the judge. Apparently, Tekashi had just flown in from Florida and somehow overslept, missing the morning court session. And that whole Vegas trip? He says it's one big misunderstanding. According to him, he thought he'd been greenlit for a show out there. Oops. Turns out, he might have been a bit careless, but his claim is that he wasn't aiming to pull a fast one on the court. Whether the judge buys that or not, well, we'll see if he can talk his way out of this one. Another twist in Tekashi 6ix9ine's legal saga? Yep, this time it's all about those missed drug tests. Now, drug testing isn't just a casual suggestion. It's a big deal for anyone on supervised release to prove they're staying clean. But Tekashi claims it's all a big misunderstanding, saying he didn't realize the tests were required. Seems a bit far-fetched, right? Whether it's a mix-up or just wishful thinking on his part, the court's about had it with his constant oops moments. And things got even stickier when it was revealed he tested positive for meth. Yikes, not only is meth illegal, but it's notorious for its hardcore health risks, making this revelation a major setback in his "I'm following the rules" argument. In true Tekashi fashion, he came up with an explanation. He says it might be from a prescription med that led to a false positive. While it's not impossible, some prescriptions can trigger false positives. Without hard proof, it's all sounding a bit thin. So now, both the court and the public are left wondering, is this another case of misunderstanding, or just Tekashi 6ix9ine trying to skate by? Tekashi 6ix9ine's attorney, Lance Lazaro, is keeping his cool, brushing off the allegations as just technical violations, rather than anything shady or intentional. Lazaro insists Tekashi isn't out here scheming. He's just having a hard time navigating the fine print of his release terms. In his view, these slip-ups should be seen as minor hiccups, not jail-worthy offenses. He's optimistic that the court will cut Tekashi some slack and chalk this up to missteps, not misdeeds. We are confident that he will be released from custody at the next court appearance. They are technical violations, and we have a defense to each one of them. Lazaro's got his work cut out for him. He'll need rock-solid proof and airtight documentation to convince the court that Tekashi's recent slip-ups are just misunderstandings, not blatant rule-breaking. Meanwhile, Tekashi 6ix9ine's cooling his heels at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, waiting for his next court date on November 12th. It's a big change from his flashy lifestyle, now back to confinement and far from the music scene he loves. For someone who's been vocal about staying out of prison, this stint at MDC is a tough reminder of just how fragile his freedom is if he keeps missing the mark with the court's rules. Early life and career. Daniel Hernandez, that's Tekashi 6ix9ine before the fame, was born on May 8, 1996, in Bushwick, Brooklyn, a place where glamour was definitely not in the cards. Life wasn't easy. His mom, Natividad, had immigrated from Mexico in 1988, hoping for a better life, and she juggled jobs in factories and house cleaning to make ends meet. His dad from Puerto Rico wasn't in the picture much, dealing with his own struggles. In fact, little Daniel didn't even meet him until he was 9, and up until then, he'd been told his dad had passed away. Growing up, Daniel was all about sports. He loved baseball and soccer and even caught the attention of a major league scout at 13. But his mom, playing it super safe, said no way. She wasn't about to send him off with a stranger. Along with his older brother Oscar, Daniel was raised in a religious home, spending time singing in church and reading Bible verses with a soft spot for Psalm 121. School, not exactly his favorite place. After bouncing around a few schools, he eventually dropped out in the 10th grade. Then, when he was still a kid, a tragic twist hit close to home, literally. His stepdad was killed near their house in 2010, leaving the family in an even tougher spot. They struggled to make ends meet, often going to bed hungry and wearing secondhand clothes. This loss hit Daniel hard, and he struggled with his mental health, dealing with depression and PTSD. He was eventually expelled in 8th grade for behavioral issues, which led him to start working wherever he could, from bussing tables to delivering groceries, to help support his family. He recalled his tough childhood in an interview.
You know, it's crazy. I'll tell you this story. One time my mom said she had some brand new sneakers for me, and it was in a box and all, but they were kind of beat up. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny is that I literally saw that same box in the garbage, like right outside my crib.
Really?
And she brought it in. She think I didn't see that shit. And the next day I went to school, and some kid that lived right next to me, I had those shits on, like his shits on.
Hernandez's journey into the music scene kicked off back in 2012, thanks to a lucky break at his job. One day, Peter "Righteous P" Rogers, the CEO of New York record label Hikari Ultra, walked into the vegan bodega where Hernandez was working in Bushwick. Rogers saw something unique in his look and vibe, so he asked Hernandez, "You ever think about rapping?" With a bit of encouragement, Hernandez gave it a shot, and by 2014, he was dropping tracks. His first song, 6ix9ine, debuted in August, followed by Pimpin' in September, and then Who Is You and 4769 in October. 4769 even featured a collab with Brooklyn rap collective Pro Era's Jab and Dirty Sanchez. For the next few years, Hernandez kept releasing music and wild videos, like Scum Life, Shinigami, inspired by the Death God in Death Note, and Helsing Station. With aggressive beats and anime-inspired visuals, his videos definitely stood out. Much of his early work was dropped through a Slovakian label, and around this time, he embraced the name Tekashi 6ix9ine, combining his love for Japanese anime, Tekashi, and his signature 6ix9ine, which he said represented balance, like a yin-yang. Soon enough, his rainbow-dyed hair, tattoos, and flashy grills made him an internet meme. Teaming up with New York rapper Zillakami, who also happened to be Righteous P's younger half-brother, Tekashi was making moves, until things went sideways. Tekashi discovered Zillakami and Righteous P were about to sign with Epic Records without him, leading to a fallout full of drama over everything from unpaid bail to stolen beats. After the split, Hernandez reconnected with Andrew Green, aka Triff Drew, who had directed his music videos before. Together, they doubled down on new visuals and songs. Then, in April 2017, Tekashi collaborated with Trippie Redd on Pole's Wonder 46.9, which grabbed attention on YouTube and gave his following a real boost. By July 2017, a wild Instagram post of his went viral on Reddit and Twitter. And just like that, Tekashi 6ix9ine was all over the internet, building his brand on wild visuals, bold style, and a serious online presence. Hernandez kicked off his career with a bang, literally. His debut single Gummo dropped on November 10th, 2017, and took off, eventually snagging the number 12 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and scoring a platinum certification by March 2018. Then came his follow-up track, Coda, which hit the charts at number 61 in December 2017. Not wasting any time, he released Kiki in January 2018 with features from Fetty Wap and a Boogie Wit Da Hoodie, adding another Hot 100 notch to his belt. The big moment arrived in February when he dropped his second mixtape, Day 6 to 9. It burst onto the Billboard 200 at number 4, racking up 55,000 units, with a nice 20,000 in actual sales. The New York Times' John Caramanica even hailed it as a standout from the SoundCloud rap wave, praising its edge and unfiltered style. The mixtape's tracks, Billy and Rondo, also made their way onto the Billboard Hot 100, with Billy reaching number 50 and Rondo landing at number 73. Next, Hernandez remixed Got It, originally by Pac-Man, into Gotti, and released a music video on April 16, 2018, where he showed a softer side by giving away stacks of $100 bills. This track joined the Deluxe Day 6 to 9 edition and made it to number 99 on the Hot 100, marking his 6th hit in a row, but not everything was smooth sailing. In May 2018, things got wild when he was caught up in a shooting incident tied to a beef with New York rapper Casanova. This dust-up cost him a $5 million headphone deal and got him banned from the Barclays Center. Hernandez then took a quick breather before bouncing back in June with Tati, featuring DJ Spinking, which made a strong debut at number 43 on the Billboard Hot 100. Quite the roller coaster, right? He talked about stopping producing music in a video with YouTuber Steve Will Do It.
I stopped making music for a lot of reasons, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, I wasn't there. I felt like mentally, if I'm not like right all in my head, the way I express it in the music is not going to be the same, you know? So I had to mentally get right, just spend time with family. And so I've been hanging around you guys, you know what I'm saying? You guys show me what like true friends, what it feels like.
In July 2018, Tekashi 6ix9ine dropped his 8th single, Fi, featuring Nicki Minaj and Murda Beats. The track stormed the Billboard Hot 100, debuting at a jaw-dropping number 4 and quickly climbing to number 3 in its second week, his highest charting song to date. Fefi went on to earn double platinum status from the RIAA. Riding high on the success, his singles BB and Stupid also made waves, cracking the top 30 on the Hot 100. In September 2018, solidifying his place in the music world. He didn't stop there. He collaborated on Allo Reloaded with French DJ Vladimir Kimar and Kick with Danish singer Jillian. Fast forward to November 7th, 2018, and Tekashi teased fans with news of his debut studio album, Dummy Boy, set for release on November 23rd. But surprise, the album dropped unexpectedly on November 27th, despite getting mixed reviews. Still, it hit number 2 on the Billboard 200, just behind Travis Scott's Astroworld, making it his most successful album to date. Even while locked up, Hernandez kept his presence felt. He was featured on a Boogie Wit Da Hoodie's track, Swervin', which peaked at number 27 on the Hot 100. The track dropped on December 21st, 2018, alongside A Boogie's Hoodie S album. Fast forward to October 2019, Tekashi locked in a massive 2-year, $10 million album deal with 10K Projects, 1 English album, 1 in Spanish. And in April 2020, under home confinement, he had to get special permission from a judge to film a music video in his backyard. Permission granted on May 7th, 2020, because hey, creativity waits for no one. He announced his musical comeback with a new single, Goba, set for release on May 8, his 24th birthday. The track, which included references to COVID-19 and his cooperation with federal prosecutors, dropped alongside a music video. Hernandez followed up with the single Trolls, a collaboration with Nicki Minaj, released on June 12, 2020. The track debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, marking Tekashi 6ix9ine's first chart-topping single. However, Trolls set a record by dropping to number 34 in its second week. His third single, Ya Ya, released on July 3, 2020. But looks like all these musical adventures have come to an end now that Tekashi 6ix9ine is sentenced. Will he be able to come back and reach the same heights as before? That's it for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click the links on your screen to watch similar ones.